Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And as you can tell from the title, today I'm going to be talking about 5G, what it is, and what the effect of 5G is, or what the effects are. so, um, so basically, 5G is another evolution in wireless technology. 5G, the G stands for generation, so it's fifth generation. Therefore, it functions at a higher frequency than previously used, generations such as the 3G and the 4G. So, therefore, it's able to provide like larger data, and it's able to increase time speed in which we receive or download data. That kind of sounds good. But, for example, right? If we were to look at 3G, okay, and I want to download a movie with 3G internet, let's say the movie is about 3 hours, and I use 3G, it's going to take about 24 to 48 hours for me to download that, right? And then if I were to look at 4G, it takes about 6 minutes for me to download that same 3-hour movie. Now looking at 5G, if I were to download that same 3-hour movie with 5G, it would take me about 3.6 seconds. So it's pretty fast. And it's going to change a lot, with a change in technology like this. We're going to need new instruments, and of course it will be able to boost certain things that we have now. For example, it's going to change a lot about virtual reality and self-driving cars as well, and so on and so forth. But it's raised some concerns, okay, some satellite interference concerns and some health concerns as well, and with good reason. Just FYI, we as humans, we're basically antennas, so just keep that in mind. In April of this year, Brussels blocked a 5G trial because of radiation laws, and fears that radiation from, the testing site would affect people and creatures that live around there. So now I'm saying this, it's not that I just want to freak everybody out, and just like Elon Musk was saying, which is something that I really like. He was saying that it's better to be optimistic about the future and be wrong than to be pessimistic about the future and be right. So just keep that in mind. So in January this year, over 180 scientists and doctors from 36 different countries sent a letter to officials in the EU. So the letter they sent to these officials in the EU was demanding a ban on 5G coverage in Europe until potential hazards for human health have been fully investigated. And but having learning this, learning this, it's not really anything so new, because there have been health concerns with 3G and 4G and just like wireless technology in general. There's something called electromagnetic hypersensitivity. And it's been something that has been of, concern with this type of technologies for a while. Electromagnetic frequency hypersensitivity is not something that is scientifically proven, but there have been a lot of complaints about this technology causing headaches, numbness, peeling of the skin, cancers, and so on and so forth. Mind you, these things are frequencies, right? And they can interact with the DNA. They can lead to, DNA damage, which can lead to some certain type of cancers. So there's basically, with the electromagnetic frequency hypersensitivity, there is like peeling of the skin and radiation poisoning and cancers, and so on and so forth, due to the electromagnetic frequency emitted from these wireless technologies. However, there has been one big alarm that has been, since 5G doesn't travel as far as 3G and 4G, they would have to install them about every 300 feet at least. So about every block in New York City would have this 5G towers that emit these frequencies that come to our phones or our homes so that we can use it. Okay, so one thing I found interesting was that it was estimated that for the metropolitan city of New York City, that they're going to need about 10,000 towers. And it's not even talking about the whole state of New York, just the metropolitan city. If you guys didn't know, the capital of New York is not New York City. It's actually somewhere upstate. I believe it's Albany. Yeah, I like to say, I believe it's Albany. So the place that most people know in New York, like the busy city, it's just a metropolitan area, and in that place, they estimated that they'll need about 10,000 of these towers that emit these frequencies that do pass through our bodies, that can cause, these side effects that, I've been talking about. So what can we do about it? Okay, so what can we do? Okay, the first thing we can do is radical acceptance. We have to accept it that, okay, there really isn't much we can do to change the fact that it is going to be coming out. And yes, it can cause these things. We can't change the fact that it's still going to be released, because we can see the adverts, on TV for these different cellular companies that are offering these 5G with the smartphones and so on and so forth. So we just have to accept that, okay, there really isn't anything we can do to change the fact that actually it's going to come out. However, like I was saying earlier, that Elon Musk said, it's better to be optimistic about the future and be wrong than pessimistic and right. And there are different things that we can start to do now that can actually help prevent some of these things and help how we handle it and how we see it. So what can we do? We can keep our distance as much as possible. If you're going to be moving, since most of the 5G is going to be released, like starting from now towards the end of the year and, 2020, if you're planning on moving, you can look for places that isn't really in metropolitan areas, that are more on the kind of outskirts. Trust me, you can still get nice houses, beautiful houses, spacious houses that are not in the metropolitan cities. I feel like you guys are smart enough to know that. So yeah, so you can keep your distance as much as possible, and put your phone in a bag, like your book bag or your backpack, instead of putting your phone in your chest pocket, your back pocket, or whatever pocket you have on your clothing. It is better for you to put it in your bag. And also, when you go to bed, don't have your phone in the room. It's better for you to turn your phone and have it out, maybe in your living room, or definitely not in your bedroom, because that definitely would, apart from giving you better sleep, is just safer in the sense that whatever frequency your phone is emitting, whether 5G or not, it's not really going to be penetrating to you, because it's going to pass through other things like the couch and the bed and so on and so forth. So, like we all know, Amazon can be pretty amazing. So there's also phone cases that we can get from Amazon. We can get dedicated cases or diodes that can actually be stuck to our phones. So for example, the Defender Shield, it's an anti-radiation cell phone case. Also safe sleeve electromagnetic frequency protective case, and SYB pouch. So all these things that I will repeat again, you can actually get at Amazon. You can just type in diodes for the phone for radiation, or just type in Defender Shield anti-radiation cell phone case. You can also just type in safe sleeve electromagnetic frequency protective cases. Then you can also type in the SYB pouch. So you're also going to protect your home by turning off the Wi-Fi when you're not using it, turning it off when you're not going to be home, or turning it off when actually having dinner with guests and you're not, using your Wi-Fi and all that. It just kind of decreases the amount of frequency, that is in your home, the amount of electromagnetic frequency that you have in your home at that moment. Another thing that you can try is try earthing, try going hiking, try spending more time in nature, try hugging trees, try walking in parks and in the wilderness and just outside barefooted. That can really do something to the to balance the electricity in our body, basically, because our brain, uses mostly electricity to communicate with itself, in the sense that each of the neuron cells use electricity to communicate with the next one. So that just kind of helps to balance it out. And then, apart from spending more time in nature, which I love, you can take care of what you put in your body. And this is very important for every one of us, because we just know that sometimes there's a lot of crap in our food. So what we can do is stay away from GMOs. And GMO is also known as genetically modified objects. So look at the back of your food. Look it up online before you buy it. And we can stay away from modified foods, like I said. And there's one more thing that we can do. You can just type it on Amazon. You can buy an electromagnetic shield for your house. And also you can get paints that also help to block some of the electromagnetic frequencies that will be beaming from your house to come into your house, to penetrate your house. So the last and final thing, which I encourage a lot, is to educate yourself. I most likely would be putting most of the links in which I got my information from, because I feel like when you tell people to research on things, they kind of have to know where to research it from. So that's something I'm going to be doing in my videos. I will be putting like the links and Wikipedia and all these places that I get this information from, and you guys can go try and educate yourself, because it's best for you to know. So you best know how to protect yourself and find the answers that you kind of need. Thank you very much. Subscribe to my channel and let me know what you think down below. Namaste. Have a good night.